Hello, and welcome to another round of Sarah Sabin's Question Time. And in this video, the question I'm going to be answering is, Sarah, my brain is in chaos. I've got loads of shiny objects going around in my brain. How do I know what to pick out of a number of options? So it is very common to have shiny object syndrome, where you have lots of ideas. Let's say you have 10 ideas, but basically you can't do all of them at once. And if you try to do it, you'd either end up not doing them very well, or you would be so overwhelmed you wouldn't start to begin with. So where you're at this kind of stage and you've got a lot of things swimming around in your head, you can try this simple four-step process to help you sort out the chaos. Step one, taking aside any economic considerations, taking aside any should do's, would do's, etc. What out of, let's stick with 10 options, what out of the 10 options are you most excited and slash or passionate about doing? So what's really lighting a fire under you in terms of interest? And this takes out anything that you're doing purely because you feel like you should be doing it. So let's say after step one, you go down from 10 options to 5 options. Then you go to step two, which is more of the logical considerations. Here you want to look at leverage, ease, risk, and return of these options that you have left on the table that you're considering doing. Ideally, you want options that are relatively easy to do, high leverage, low to medium risk, and high return. And if not, you want to make sure that at least there's some kind of balance going on there to make this option or these options feasible for you to do. Step three is to look at short-term versus long-term. So unfortunately, one of the sad side effects of being in survival mode or being too influenced on what's going on outside you is that you tend to start thinking very short term. So the next hours, days, weeks, months, etc., rather than long term, 5 years, 10 years, etc. Now, it might be that out of step one and step two, you're left with 4 options that look relatively okay for you to do. But if you look at, say, option one, it generates $100,000 in the first year, but then it doesn't grow from there. So it will stay consistent or it will start to have diminishing returns. What you're also considering within this is trends and markets. So, for example, you could pick something that's a good short-term option, but literally there is a very strong possibility that it won't be around in 4 to 5 years from now because of the changing technological landscape and the promulgation of AI. So then that option starts to look a bit less attractive if it's only short term versus long term. If something has long term legs, i.e., it's only going to get more relevant over the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and maybe it doesn't generate as much revenue in the short term, or maybe there's even a small loss in the short term, but the longer term potential of it is a growth trajectory, then you know that that option is more likely to be a winner over the long term. So steps one, step two, step three, and maybe you're then left with 2 or 3 options. The last filter that I encourage you to apply is congruence. So is this idea congruent with the rest of the things that you're doing within a company, or is it a left field? So is it, for example, going from A, digital content creation using AI, to Z, using AI in health and medical devices, which would be confusing and incongruent if you just did it in one step. Now, that doesn't mean that incongruent ideas that you're not excited about, sorry, that you are excited about, don't have legs in the future, but you may need to add in a few more steps rather than going from A to Z. So you will have to go through the rest of the alphabet first, which means that it's probably not an idea for now. The other filter that links into congruence is making sure that this really is in the company's best interests and not just in your personal best interests as well. So taking emotion out the equation and your attachment to the particular idea. Is this in the best interests of the company and the customer base that the company serves?